we look forward to seeing them go through spring practice.
Now that the season's ended and you've had some time to reflect, have you been able to pinpoint it, kind of what happened? Is it personnel? Was it some scheme things in terms of your struggles defensively?
Well, I think anytime you look at the numbers, so it has to be personnel. The scheme hadn't changed. We tried to go a little 3-4 to create a more pass rush, which didn't happen, and so we toward the end of the season we just went back to our 4-2-5 and stayed consistent with it. But the bottom line is, if you don't affect the quarterback in this league, you don't have a chance to win a lot of ball games. And so we didn't affect the quarterback, and you're not going to do it all the time by pressure. So that goes back to us recruiting. We just got to make sure we recruit some players that can affect the quarterback, pass rushes.
You invested so much time in the 3-4, going back to last spring. Was it personally for you? Was it frustrating having to move away from that as the season went along?
Not at all. You got to try something different. If it's not working, you got to try something different. So again, we'll still use it some, and I think we've always done a little bit on third down, but that's probably the place you'll see it. But we was doing it to we knew we didn't have to pass rush, and so we was trying to figure out a way to create, get more linebackers on the field to rush passing, but it didn't work out that way.
You were saying in the summer you thought the defense had a chance to actually be better this year than last year. At what point did you realize, we don't have it?
First game. When they put us in space and we didn't, react, and you realize that, a team that spreads you out, let's throw the football, you can run zone pressure, but then you just run it because they're going to get rid of the football before you get there. So that part of the game, which is what we was thinking the 3-4 was going to be for, it's changed. So, if we played running teams, the 3-4 probably would have worked a lot better because you could zone pressure teams doing it. And but teams that spread you out, you got to play with 4 down linemen and try to match their personnel.
As far as you're concerned, was the number one problem last year the lack of a pass rush?
Well, again, I think it was the lack of a lot of things. When you got lack of a pass rush, then you got a young secondary, so that's a bad combination. That's the deal. If you got a young secondary, you want to have great pass rush so that the quarterback don't have as much time and to find them. Well, we had no pass rush and a young secondary. That's a bad combination.
Well, what happened to a guy then, like a Darius Henderson, who came in with a reputation of being a pretty good pass rusher, yet looked like he didn't get it done on the field when the game started?
Well, again, that's the bottom line. We put players in position hopefully to make plays, and if they don't make the plays, then obviously either they're not capable or they just haven't developed to be that guy yet. And so Darius hadn't developed to be that guy yet.
Why are bowl practices so important for the next spring?
Well, I think it's because it's another spring practice. It's like having 30 days of spring practice because technically you really can start bowl practice anytime. And, it's good for the young guys and it's good, to get the guys back out. And you just think if the season's over, the last thing tasting our mouth is the Clemson game. And then how you fix what you did wrong in that game. And at least we can come out here and work on it now.
It seems like the guys have been going real hard this week. Hey, can you go harder in bowl practice because you don't have to worry about the week-to-week wear to tear during the season?
Well, I think you got time in case someone get banged up. We had live scrimmage out here yesterday with the 1s on 1s and 2s on 2s, and that's something we haven't done in a long time. And Coach told them we're going to have more physical practice, and I thought there was more physical today, even though we didn't tackle to the ground. So it's just a mentality.
Where things stand today in recruiting, do you feel like you're addressing the need on the defensive line from a personnel standpoint?
No question. If we sign the guys that we got that are coming in now, and then if we can hold on to the ones that we got committed, of course we're addressing the need.
Anything else for Coach Ward? To ask you about signing these high schoolers, these financial aid agreements that they sign. Typically, South Carolina hasn't done that. Where you've actually announced, hey, we've signed Jalen Henry, we've signed these guys. Those are non-binding agreements. What are the pros and cons of getting those kids to go ahead and sign those?
Well, I think again, if you can create momentum for your recruiting class, then why not do it? Everybody else does it. Clemson does it all the time, and so if you can sign a kid at mid-year in agreement, I think it helps with the recruiting class because guys see those guys already committed to come here.
Is it a good PR move too?
Totally.
Do y'all want to start doing that earlier in next classes instead of just on the JUCO signing day? Or y'all going to start sending out those financial?
It's definitely something that I'll let Steve Jr., who's the recruiting coordinator, decide that, but it's definitely something that we'll look into because everybody's doing it.
Sounds like Corey Lewis is a guy who can come right in and probably start from game one from North Carolina, from the opening gun of the North Carolina game next year.
I sure hope he can.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.